All right, guys, it is time for a quickie. This is that time, put that 10 minutes on the clock, and we actually break down those breaking news topics, a little bit more of a discussion piece. Having a good time today. Happy hump day. Let's get into it right now. Now, we've gone through a lot of stuff already, I would say, so we can ease through this already. We've talked about a lot about that far away. Far away? Yeah, far away. That's right.
Far Cry?
Far Cry. I feel like I'm going to be a farquad. That's what I feel like. Far Cry. Okay, so for Far Cry, let me actually ask you two, like Lexi and Sean, you both actually played this game. What's the best season? Like, what do you want to see? Will they go to the best season, do you think? Or do you think they will choose season or the first game and just dive into that? Lexi first.
Well, I'd like to see them progressively fall. Like, if you're a fan of the series, then it would be nice to see them, at least do the first 6 games proper, if that's your goal. However, like I said before, they're fairly open source in their content that you don't have to follow anything strictly. I mean, I think like the emphasis needs to be on, typically it is a white tourist that goes to a place they really shouldn't be, and like their experience being integrated into a world they don't belong in, and then because they don't belong there, they're eventually like offed. So even though they think that they're becoming part of something, they're not. You know what I mean? Also, those gyrocopter helicopters, I want to see those in the show.
That's a thing they have?
Yeah, in the game they have these like little like chairs that are gyroscopters and like helicopters, and they seem to be in like every game. They don't seem to be in just like one or the other. They seem to kind of be like a trademark of the game series.
It's a pretty consistent means of conveyance. Yeah. For how large they make some of the islands in the game, yeah, it makes sense. I think the smartest thing they're doing... Go ahead, sorry.
What's the one that has the Asian guy as the main bad guy? He's like the blonde-haired Asian guy. Is that 4 or 2? I can't remember because I know 3 is definitely.
4. I don't think it's 3. Was the guy from Breaking Bad?
Yeah, that one I really want to see.
Or what? Was it Aaron Paul?
He was. No. And this is going to sound really stupid.
I think it's the guy who played in the very first season. He dies, isn't it?
Is
that the guy?
No. Hold on. I got Google. Have you guys heard of this?
I know. but I would, if I was going to pick any game, the one with the crazy Asian guy who's in charge of it, where it's all about
Michael Mando. It was Michael Mando. Far Cry 3. Yeah.
But that's the one I want to see the most as that one. But I mean, there's a lot of I think the biggest difficulty that they will face with those games is locations, because they're very, very exotic locations, and filming in them is going to be really hard. Like, you're going to have to film in Thailand, you're going to have to film in like Indonesia, you're going to have to film in
White Lotus can do it. I don't see why not. I think they're really smart in making this an anthology. I think that really is going to help it kind of set it aside from, or set it apart from the other video game adaptation TV series that we have right now. I'm very excited for it. I'm not like a huge Rob Mack fan, to be honest with you. The man listen, this is going to sound really vain, but I think he's had too much plastic surgery.
Oh.
Right there. Yeah. They all look like regular people, and then Hollywood got to him. But Danny DeVito has got to be in it. He's got.
Do you remember when Uwe Boll was making a Far Cry film?
I do remember when Uwe Boll was making.
Why did that never see the light of day? I wonder.
Well, because people saw Postal and said, "What the hell are you doing?"
I'm in Postal. I resent that.
You're in Postal?
I'm in Postal. I had no idea. That's awesome.
Well, there you go. The more you know. Don't go postal on Sean now, Lexi.
In the film, he has a celebrity boxing match where he beat up all his critics online, and I was at that boxing match, and there's only 7 people in the audience at it, and I'm one of them.
That's hilarious.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. It's freaking cool. I mean, I hope this does well, though. If you're saying they tried making this project before, Noah Hawley, though, has been doing great with all the alien stuff and also working side by side to help the Predator stuff to go forward. So I feel like what they're doing with that world is cool. It's riveting. So maybe they can take that kind of energy and those stories to kind of make Far Cry work well. So we'll see. Not Far and Away, but Far Cry. That's Tom Cruise in Far and Away. I do like that.
We're in a really respectful time with video game content. I've never
so
seen
much video game content.
I've never seen people.
Season 2 is going to be amazing. Very excited.
I really hope so. And Scrubs guys would be great, right? You guys are excited about Scrubs?
I can't think of anything I want less.
I feel like it's like 10 years too late.
What about Stephen King?
I mean, I love
which one's more?
Old school Stephen King, but like I agree with you. I think I'd rather take Scrubs over freaking Stephen King at this point.
There's so much Stephen King.
There's too much. There's too much of it. And I mean, I was really happy to see The Long Walk. The Long Walk was beautiful.
I watched it. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Lex, you said to watch it. I watched it. I was like, this is a really good movie. And the ending had that nice, it made sense with who wins The Long Walk. It made sense to me. But it was also very sad and somber. And you saw how people become like brothers on that walk too. So
that movie was like almost perfect, but then it just like there was just something about it. And I don't know if this is a problem with modern film or if this is just a problem with like who directed it or whatever. Everything was there, but there was just something missing. It was like almost like if you took like Shawshank and combined it with like something else, and it really had a lot of these things that should have had those feelings, that emotion that you garnered from like watching Shawshank Redemption. It was all there, but there was something about the ending and the execution where it just kind of fell flat for me. And I don't think anybody did a bad job in the film. I just think it was maybe the editing or the directing or I don't know what exactly, but something wasn't perfect in it. So that's why I only gave it 4 out of 5 stars. But I highly recommend it. But I want to see more of the Richard Bachman side of things. I will always be more excited for Richard Bachman than I will Stephen King. Give me a Regulators film, please.
Regulators, Mauna. That's different. I know that's different. Just the first thing that comes to my head. The Stephen King, though, I feel like there's so much of his stuff. And like that guy looks too. I mean, I saw that picture. He's kind of looking like he's doing the Rob Mack treatment to his face as well. But, you know, it happens, you know. GR, when do you get the Rob Mack treatment, GR? When are you getting that? When are you going Hollywood on us, huh?
Never.
Would you rather watch Scrubs or Stephen King? What's on your mind more?
Neither one.
If you're stuck in hell, GR, and you got a choice between Scrubs on repeat or Stephen King features, what would you rather watch?
Scrubs would be hell.
Yeah, it'd be Scrubs. I mean, Jesus.
Because you got to watch the final 3 seasons of Scrubs. There's some of the worst television shows ever made.
If I'm in hell, I have to. Other than that, there's no way you can make me.
I had an ex that was obsessed with Scrubs, and I had to watch it way more than I ever wanted to. I
never really watched Scrubs. I think I've seen like 2 episodes, maybe. I'm not missing anything, huh?
Absolutely.
No.
I think the first season
you want to see their humor,
No one saw that either. Huh?
Brian, if you want to see their humor, turn your TV on.
Oh, I've seen those T-Mobile commercials. They do so many T-Mobile commercials.
Same thing, yeah.
And you're right. El Santo, nobody saw Running Man either. Nobody saw Running Man. People just aren't going to the theaters.
Running Man. That was a name.
Running Man. I'm 100% in agreement with GR.
Yeah, it was not fucking Running Man. It was, what was that movie that came out with John Cena and Aquafina?
Yes.
That kind of it fucking rhymes.
Like gold something or whatever, where they had to like,
Yeah, there was like the lottery. They won the
lottery or something, right?
Yeah.
And that means you got hunted. Yeah.
Somebody watched that movie and was like, let's make The Running Man, but do that instead. And nobody went to see it. It's like, is Glenn Powell's career fucked now because of this? That's my question. You think that people are going to start not booking him?
He's going to make a dozen more Twisters. He's going to be fine. He's going to be absolutely fine.
Twisters was horrible too. Oh my God.
It doesn't matter. It was still a success.
Terrible.
Oh, terrible.
Running Man went so far against, and even if the original film wasn't as close to the book or whatever, it really, it's too good of a film to like mess with. Like it's one of Arnold's best movies ever. Like it's so good and it's so cyberpunk and it's so like dark and heavy and like the dark heavy tones, and this remake was not dark or heavy. It looked very light, very fun, and I just found myself like, who made Running Man light and fun?
The studios. Like, let's try that different. Let's try something different. It's a reboot. Yeah, it's like Tron. They tried digging Tron something different too. They didn't follow the storyline, and then the fans revolted against it, you know?
Jared Leto wasn't the reason Tron sucked, by the way. I just want to get that out there. Everybody's like, it was like Leto. Like, Leto was the least of the issues with that film. Like, literally, like, as a matter of fact, he was too big of a star for that movie, and they should have gotten a lesser star for that role because he was too good for the role he was given. And I'm not, like, sitting here defending Leto. I'm just like, Leto's a phenomenal character.
I'm glad you're not.
If they want to hate on this movie because it's, like, him, I'm like, that's fine. I'm like, but he wasn't the issue. There was
what was
plenty
the
of
issue then in your eyes? What was the problem with it?
Oh god,
The plot sucked.
Don't you dare say the music.
The plot was the music was great. The plot was had a lot of issues. I was very confused about where the guy comes into it, who's the bad guy, and his mother. I was like confused about them. They acted like I should know who they were. I didn't know who they were, and I'm a huge Tron fan. There were just like a lot of like holes in the idea of the story. There was some very interesting concepts introduced in it. I did like the 3D printing stuff. I did like
that was cool.
How they got them into reality. I don't think that stuff was executed poorly. However, light cycle technology could not work in the real world. It just can't, period. No matter what you want, you can bring the light cycles out, but you can't actually use that technology. Regardless of that, like, you're just nitpicking at that point, because the fight sequences were excellent. Everything looked great. Nothing was, like, it was just a very, very bad story. And the fact that they went against so much of the first two films in this film in some sort of strange way, like, it feels like you're not supposed to think the second film even happened, and then it ends with, by the way, remember the second film? We're bringing all that stuff. So it feels like the fourth film instead of the third film in a series of films where you missed your third film and you have no idea where it is, and you're like, well, this is really confusing. And so the fact that they ignored so much of part two and part two's concept, because part two was about how what he did in the first film was expanded on, and that world grew into its own little entity and became what it was. This film basically has that world locked in an office somewhere and it's still using cool 1980s like tech, and I'm like, so you wanted fan service? So this movie's fan service. This is for like, this is another Star Wars New Hope kind of thing, whatever, like the J.J. Abrams one. I'm like, it's a bunch of like Easter eggs and remember this and member berries. Never does that. A series that has consistency and growth and development of its story and concepts and ideas. And so this felt very much against what everything has been in those films up to this point.
And Lexi, like you said before, this movie could have worked as a third one or as like a fourth one. So if you would have had that movie in between to like link these together, would have been great. Maybe,
right.
you know?
And tell us why his grid reverted back to the 1980s.
Yes.
I need that. I need the whole fact that you completely invalidated your second film with this movie was the biggest issue. So much of your second film was thrown in the trash with this, but also like, hey, remember it. So do you want me to remember it or not? What do you want from me, Disney? Like, I can't wrap my head around what you're asking for me as a fan of this, because I'm a huge fan. Totally dedicated. Like I'm the person.
Me too. We had that conversation. We're like,
yeah.
I watched it again. I like the music. I love like the visuals. It just we're missing a movie. We're missing a movie, and it's unfortunate because I don't think another one will come. Maybe 20 years if we're lucky. If we get another one, so I feel like they might just really put this back in the vault. And
when
Mickey might say,
"Never again, boy." Get another one.
We'll find out. But guys, great quickie, everybody.
Yo, player, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when we are live. And if you are able to join our Patreon, please join. Because the Pep Star needs more snickety snacks. Because I'm hungry. Holla back. Love y'all. Cruise control show. Cruise control show.